All right then. Didn't even light this up properly. Fuck. That's more like it. Right then, we are live. Welcome to episode 80, guys. Just want to say thank you so much for actually coming on the show and actually, giving me support, a lot of love as well. Appreciate you all there. Just want to, take the moment to say thank you for everyone as well. I mean, like, what, 1,940 subscribers or something like that. And it's been a long ride coming. This is the 80th episode. Nearly done 100, man. Nearly done 100, so that's a lot. I started this off with from zero and build this way. I mean, there's been a number of people actually supporting me as well, like, Derry, Mr. M. We've got like Daink Country Club, SC, Trader NJ, all there's a bunch of other guys actually supported it. So shout out to all these guys as well, shout out to all of you. And I just want to say again, one more time, thank you so much for actually, for supporting the whole thing. It means a lot to me as well. So let's get cracking now. What's going on, champs? Hope you guys are doing well. So welcome to episode 80. So Bitcoin is doing its craziness at the moment. I was talking to the guys yesterday on DCC, looking for a potential play. Because we got Monday's range, right? Because we're on Tuesday now, so we can play on Monday's range and we can actually work this out. And I was looking for like taking out liquidity on Monday's high during Asia and play it back down to the mid range, possibly take out liquidity in the range low or Monday's low, and then we can rally off. We don't know. But instead, Bitcoin during the Asia time, it just fucking pumped, man. Fucking blew shit out of the water. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, like, there was a few things that we talked about yesterday. ZCX was one of them. I bought a little. I didn't buy much actually. I wish I did. I bought a little bit when I was talking about it yesterday, and I was like, okay, I got a swing trade, a spot buy, and see what happens. It's nearly 2x, so that's not bad actually. I gotta say. But we'll see what's going on in the market across the board there. Before we do so, we'll do the first things like, we just go through dollar index, ES, see what's going on. Because everyone was bearish on ES. What happened? People were talking about ES's, just, I remember like, I saw there was a couple of people on Twitter talking about like the kiss of death. And I discussed about the kiss of death, that it's a meme, what we're looking for. Potentially, we could have 2 months upside before we have, before we have the actual move down. We don't know. Talked about a bunch of things, man. So things are going well at the moment. So just shout out to Mr. M. We got Derry, got Hunter in the group. Who else we got as well? I think it's my fucking chat is not bringing up. There we go. There we go. Now we got everyone here. We got T-Raw in the house. Shout out to T-Raw. He's a new member of the DCC as well. So big love to that as well. We got Big Man in the house. We got it's Adam. Who else we got? Let me start. Yeah, we got Yuri in the house. Thomas. We got Gandalf. We got Pirate. How's it going, Pirate? Pirate's everywhere. Pirate's always an awesome person. Bonjour, no. Oh, that's probably not for me, Adam. It's probably for Pirate. That's probably for Pirate. She's Italian, innit? We got John Caboose. We got Half Hustle. We got freaking Derry in the house. Nick is in the house as well. That's better to be pissed off than pissed on, Pirate. It's true. Need a vape so I can smoke in the office with you. Oh, fucking hell, man. You know what it is? I'll tell you something though. So my mum came round yesterday. I don't know why, she surprised me randomly. She decided to come round. And like, because this is my own place, innit? My office, this is where I only smoke in the office. And but next to the office is like a utility room. Now, utility room's linked to the kitchen. So I must have left the utility room open and the kitchen door from the utility room open. So the house was smelling like cigarettes, innit? So my mum comes in and she started giving me a headache about freaking why am I smoking in the freaking house? And a part of me wanted to say, Ma, this is my house, Matt. Like, what am I doing? I'm not smoking in your house. I really wanted to say that, but obviously I just took it on the fucking chin, man. Like, fucking hell, man. But that's mums for you. She's always looking for something to actually... I think... Is that true? Like, every mum looks for something to actually, looks for something small just to piss you off or even say some shit. They gotta complain about something. Fucking hell. I love her to bits. But bloody hell, man. Let me smoke in peace, innit? Classic mum, yeah. 100%, man. What's going on there? Hunter's back in the house, man. It's been a while. Meltdown. Yeah, it's true, man. Fucking, it's a pain in the ass, but oh well, what can you do? That's mom's for you. Hopefully she doesn't come here again because I'm smoking again. But yeah, let's get cracking though. I never give up. Smash the likes, man. If you're new to the show, subscribe to the show, and we're gonna make some peas on the way up and down. You know how we do. All right, let's talk about dollar index. Dollar index. What's going on with dollar index? Interestingly enough, like I discussed, that 113 has been the key. It has been a beautiful key, and you know, like we're gonna find resistance there, and yeah, you can see right there, resistance over here, bang down, and we come down to this 111.31 level, and that's a key point. And we just about kissed this trend line here. You know this trend line that we've got over here? Let's just pull this out. So this is a trend line we've got from like freaking back in May, right? Back in May, we're just going up, down, up, down. It's higher highs, higher lows, right? We can agree it's higher highs, higher lows. But it's bullish motherfucking market structure. We can agree with that, right? Why? If bullish market structure looks like this, right? That looks like this right here, right? Look, just do the market structure together. Lower low, just the low. That's the higher high, higher low. Higher high. It does take this out. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, high. Well, we're looking for the higher low. Or do we finally break the motherfucking market structure and then do something like this and break down? We don't know yet. But so far, so good on the 4 hours. We're looking like we're making the higher low, right? So we'll see what happens there. Do we find support? Well, let me just clear this up there. Do we find support off this level here? Off here, and then continue bullishness, or do we actually come back down and lose the 25% of the range, play it back to the mid-range of this trend line? I expect some bounce over here, which is approximately around these. Well, if you look here, you've got a range bound environment right over here. You see this? And this is where price can come into, which won't surprise us if we take out these liquidity over here and bounce off this and maybe come back up and see if we can get back below into this area here. Once we lose this area, then this market structure is collapse. It collapses itself because, like what I always say, like all these things that we talk about, like head and shoulders and all that bullshit, inverse head and shoulders. We got the triangles and the pentagons and octagons and whatever they got. All these kind of shapes they're making up as well. But they're all memes, right? But if you look at this, right? Let me bring up a new thingy. Let's show the bullish channel, right? Bullish channel. Images. We've got images. What is a bullish channel? Ah, here we go. What is a bullish channel? Let's have a look. Right, see this bullish channel? That is a bullish channel. You know that it's capped up at the highs. You can see the trend line is capped. I want to see a breakdown of the fucking bullish channel. We've got images. Where can we get a breakdown? Ah, here we go. We've got something like this. Let me bring this up. Visit this site. Alright, so currency, this website here, and as you can see right here, you can see this, the bullish channel goes up. Oops, motherfucker. You can see it's just capped, right? It's capped all the way up there, and then when we finally lose the channel over here, we break down, do a retest off the low over here, and then carry on with bearishness as well. So that's what we're looking for. There will be a break in the bullish channel eventually, but as you can see, you know, this typical bullish channel that everyone wants to see, then breakdown, doesn't always have to happen, because look at dollar index. Dollar index didn't do the typical kind of bullish channel that you're looking for, that everyone's looking for. Everyone's looking for this, and then break down, and then do something like that. That's what everyone's looking for. But what happened is, like I said to you, it's just a motherfucking meme. Don't confuse all these memes with as legitimate fact, because it's not. Right? It goes up, down, up, down, up, down. Then we break out. People start getting mad bullish right here. They're crazy bullish. Dollar index, right? I mean, how would I get bullish if we take out these highs, come back up, step back into the mid-range, then we carry on and going higher? But if we start getting back into this bullish channel, lose the bullish channel, then, you know, that was the macro top. Well, not macro top. Well, you can say macro top in a way. That was a top there, and let's go back down and see where we can go. I mean, potentially. I mean, let me just delete all this shit off, right? We've got on the daily. Let's see what we got on the daily, right? I mean, you got SRs over here, right? You see this SR there? This is the original SR that price was capped, right? This is the original range, right? If we were going to come back down, ideally, we want to see come back down to the range high, and then see if we actually show bullishness and carry on going higher, or do we actually come back down and break back down, and all this was just a deviation of the range, just like it was over here and over here. So that's what we're looking for. But if dollar index is going to be mega bullish, right? At least at a minimum, I would like to see us retest this high. At a minimum, retest this high, and if it was going to be bullish, hold this, break in market structure on the bullish side, and let's carry on going on the upside, and we'll see what happens there. That's potential. I mean, we're looking at 104, and the price is 111. So there's a drop of what, 6%, about 6% of it to drop down on dollar index, and that will give us a breathing space on the stock market and on crypto as a whole, which is everyone's actually more interested on crypto really. See what's going on. So how fast is it? True. I hate driving my mom. Every 2 seconds it's slowed down. Slow down. You're driving, driving dangerously. These times I'm doing 25. Damn. My mom's the same. Dude, I tell you something, man. Like even my dad as well. My dad was the same nonsense as well. It's like, and I thought to myself, like, you know, if I'm driving on the motorway, I'm doing 80. I know it's 70. It's illegal. I get it. But don't give me a lessons that like I'm doing illegal. You know, I'm driving illegally at doing 80. Come on, man. But bless our parents. I think we'll do the same with our kids. So I think it's gonna be a bit of fun when we have our own kids. We just do shit like that just to piss them off, and then we can just sit down and chuckle on our own, just thinking about what our parents did to us, and then we get to do it with them. So that's that. So that's dollar index. Let's touch on ES. ES, we talked about this right numerous times, and it's done exactly what we wanted. Right, for the bullishness, it just retested that 200 EMA. Beautiful, very, very beautiful. We discussed that yesterday in quite great depths, right? Where when we did lose the 200 EMA, what happened was we see this low over there. That was our confirmation. Once we lost this low, come back up. It does a deviation, primary resistance, sells off, takes that liquidity over here, and you know, when we reclaim it, when we actually do reclaim it, we reclaimed it quite well. I mean, like, look, we got support over here. You can call it a support in its own way, and then come back into this area here, support there, there's a deviation, gets back up, holds it bullish because we're above the 200 EMA, and then we're finding support over here. So that's all good though. Remember that? We talked about that. If you guys missed it and you want to go back into it, go back to the stream yesterday. It was episode 79. Was it 79? 78? What episode I'll be on? Fucking hell, I don't even fucking know. But it was the episode yesterday, and we did a bit of a discussion about that. So I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to get right into the bull crack as well. Let's see what's going on. So let's draw out our ranges. We found support off this range high itself. This was a range bound environment we talked about yesterday, okay? And we looked at if it was going to be bearish, we wanted to come back in, close below it, and then we can play it back to the mid-range back to range low. Instead, it did a nice clean retest, right? Take out liquidity over here. There's a double bottom right there. Took out the liquidity, and now we're back up the motherfucking 2021 range low. And which is interesting enough, right? It's come up where to the freaking last week's Monday's high. Last week's Monday's high. We'll come back up to last week's Monday's high. It's all looking quite perfectly nice there. So now what we're looking for, right? So let me just drag this along there, so we can just talk about what's going on. So now, looking at ES, how do we actually work this out? We've got a gap over here that needs to be filled out. So we know at the very minimum that is going to be filled out. Again, I have to say this quite clearly. It doesn't have to be filled out in the next couple of days. We can still range bound here. Maybe, you know, I don't know, might come into here as a fake out and then come back up and then fill this out. It could do whatever the fuck it wants, but we have to work this level to level. So we know we got this area there. Let me just fucking Control Z, there we go. Let me just get a box, rectangle this shit from this high to this low. We know we got this area that we can fill out, and this is going to be an area that we're going to actually be quite interested in. So if I was looking at let's go on 2 hours, right? 2 hours, we know on the daily that needs to be filled out. So we're looking for a bodily close, right? A body to cover this area here. That's what we need to follow. I think you find. So how are we looking at to play this out level to level? So we've broken out of the thingy Mondays, last week's Monday's high. It's all good. We're getting capped at the moment, which is not a problem. All we're looking for is any retest and hold above the mid range. We can actually long this, going for target 1 of this area there. That'll be target 1 because that's the low. There'll be an SR, support, support, support. Then once we close below it, resistance, and then sells off. So that's definitely going to be an area where we're interested in as having a target. And then once we get back up, the next set of targets will be in this area here. So I would say probably filling up to here, which is about what number are we talking about? 3806.25. So fill out there, and then we'll see what happens. Now, if price is that fucking bullish, right? Oops. If price is that fucking bullish, right? Then what happens is, let's go back on the daily, and we can work out some clear ass targets then. So we've got some. This is a range bound environment here, right? So price is in a range here. Let me just hide this, and I'm going to highlight this to you guys now, okay? Look at this. So we've got this low over here, right? And then this high here is where the price was getting capped previously. So and it just so happens to be an SR right there, right? So then if we the mid range will be approximately, I think it's about here, and it just so happens that's where we're getting capped at, the mid range. That's where we're getting capped out. So if you want confirmation to play this play, let it do its thing, whatever it wants to do a pullback or whatever the fuck it wants to do. Once it gets back up and hold above it, then you know you can play back into the target of filling out these gaps over here and then squeezing into range high. From there, we'll see what happens next, and that gives us some moves in the bull market in crypto for more bullish plays. So we have an idea that there's bullish plays around the corner going into crypto, right? So, and it just happens that this area, this was the last low that sent the market back down. So we're gonna find some sort of resistance. Let me change the fucking color on this. 1 second. So this high, this low, this is gonna be an area of resistance, as you can see quite clearly. Price got, took out the stops, resistance, sets back into the range, finds resistance, comes at range low, finds resistance at range high, comes back down and sells off there. So we can already tell off the daily there's gonna be some reaction. So you can come up to here. This is where you're gonna be taking profits and watch it how it goes, because what happens is if we come into this area here and start breaking down, what does that mean? We're starting to short the market back into the mid range. That's what we're looking for, right? If this price action happens, right? So that's that. Because we're definitely gonna find some reaction. Trust me, we're definitely gonna find reaction on this in the higher time frame. That's gonna happen. Something along the lines, we're gonna get a pullback off this block itself. Okay. What happens is if we are gonna be mega bullish, because we are playing in this range here, right? This is the range bound environment. If we break out and hold above it, right, especially step above here, then we can play the next target, which will be coming to here. Oops. This will be the next area of targets, squeezing up to there, right? And we've got all this inefficiency to fill out. The guys in the group in DCC understand what I'm talking about. It is an inefficiency to fill out, and we play this level to level, and you'll be taking profits off the base itself, and we're going to see how we react. And it just so happens that's around, is that the mid-range? No, it's not. So see what happens from there. We get above the 25% range. You see, here's the 25% range. Get above the 25% range. Bullish market structure, off you go. Fill out these inefficiency, you play level to level, and we're definitely going to find some resistance there. That's the next level of resistance. Why? Well, you see this low over here. Look at this. Let me just remove some of this shit there. There we go. Right, support, lost it, come back up, deviation of the range of the SR, and sells off, and that'll be the next level of area we're gonna find resistance. Okay, so that gives us a bit of a breathing space on Bitcoin, right? So on ES, and if it was to go up, I mean, I'd say mid-range at least, because what we're playing is we're gonna be playing it. Just delete this. What we're playing in is literally between the mid-range to range low. That's what we're looking at, and then from there we'll see what happens. And again, got another void over here, another gap to fill out, and we see at level to level. So it does look quite promising. All right, it does look quite promising. Market structure hasn't, like on the daily hasn't, still looks kind of shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. It doesn't look great. Let's not forget about that. But on the smaller time frame, let's go on the 4 hours. You can see the market structure is starting to shift out itself. Once we take out this high over here, this high here, then you gotta say, yeah, that's a breaking market structure, because if this is gonna be holding it as bearish, this has got to hold, right? So if we get back up, do something like this, hold above it, off we go, and then level to level, as we talked about, into these areas there and whatnot. Okay, so that's ES. ES looks good. Let's talk about the freaking Bitcoin. BTC. I want to touch on base onto this chart here first. This chart is quite important for us. Let me hide the MA. There we go. This chart is still holding a support, right? We did talk about this last month, right? If you are bullish, you have your stop loss over here, the very low. This is your invalidation. You're completely wrong here. You'll be targeting the mid-range. Mid-range, then go to range high. We'll see how it goes. And so far, we're just within this area of the leg, right? In this range, between the mid-range, 25% range and the range low. That's where we're capped at. So we're still stuck in here. We can't say, let's not long just yet. All right, let's just not start going making mega longs and say, yeah, we're gonna go for it for fucking 60k or whatever. Let's not do that shit, right? The last time we did that shit, what happened? We went from 69k to fucking 19k. It's not really nice, It's not a nice feeling. I'm in the same boat with you guys. I'm watching the same chart. Let's not get too excited. One can argue that right here we got inefficiency right over here, right? Which I agree with you. I'm not fucking denying you. We've got some inefficiency right here. You know, all this area here. I can agree with you. But let's not fucking focus on that area. Let's focus on this area here. This is the area we need to focus. Why? Because price is capped within this range. This is the range low. This is range high. This is July's range. You can see resistance, support, support. As long as this holds, right? We did a stop run of these, right? As long as this holds, we can go up to and reclaim the 25% of range. Then we can start filling out these inefficiency right here, going into the mid-range, see if we can squeeze into this space over there, and then we'll see what happens. There's going to be a bit of chop at the mid-range, whatever he wants to do, let him do his thing. The moment we get back up and show bullish market structure, let's carry on to the next stop, fill out this inefficiency right there, and that's the 75% of the range, reclaim that area there, then we can squeeze up to range high. And that's it. And that's all we're looking for. That's what we're looking for in terms of macro on the 4-hour chart. If you want to trade on the 4-hour chart, it's perfectly fine. Smash the likes, motherfuckers, man. Don't be scared to smash the likes. You ain't gonna hurt anyone. You're gonna help me, right? And the more that you guys like and comment and what you call it and interact with the chat, the more it helps us going forward. Because you know what it is? It's like when we talk about altcoins and BTC and Ethereum and whatnot, you get the algorithm going. When the algorithm going, when you get more people coming in, when more people start coming in, trust me, we can start pushing the market quite heavily. That's all we can do. Right, so it's all for our benefit, and it also helps others to learn the market as well. Right, so appreciate that, guys. And so that's what we're looking at. So we're capped at this, between these range here. We have to start working out how we're gonna work this out. So if I'm gonna look at this, right, before I start looking at all these other ranges, I know I've got a range over here and over here, for example. I think it's something like that. I know I've got a range there, but let's just focus on what's at hand. What's at hand is that Monday's range. Because if we're on Tuesday, let's do that. Alright, so today is the where is it? What day is today? Today's the 4th, isn't it? Yeah, shit, man, it's the 4th. So the 3rd, that was the low for the 3rd. No, this was the low for the 3rd. And then the high comes in at right over here. Right there. Is that right? Let me double check that. So cool. Sorry, I thought I heard a buzz or something like that. It's like, yo, is there a fucking bee or some shit, man? Fuck that. I ain't dealing with no fucking bees in this fucking room. Alright then, yeah, so let me make sure that's all nice and neat. Coordinates. So what we got here? This number is 19,716,717.67. Awesome. Perfect. Right then, so this is what we're looking at, and you can see we're broken at Monday's high, perfectly fine, whatnot. It's all good there. The question is, do we start going up? You know, are we gonna go back up over here and start going in this area? But fuck no, we're not. You know why? Because we're getting capped, right? You see this wick here? Don't start longing it yet. Don't start longing it. We're gonna wait for a retest. When you see a breakout, remember, price works very, very easily to understand. Price works in 4 stages. Number 1, consolidation. Number 2, we get a breakout. Number 3, we get a retest. And number 4, we get expansion. These are the 4 areas that the price actually works. Sometimes we get consolidation, get a breakout, a retest, and then back into consolidation. And that was just a deviation of the range, right? So these are the 2 ways that price always reacts. There's always that way. It's as simple as that. There's no other way around it to make it simple as that, okay? So now we've got quite clearly, as you can see, on the daily, it does look fucking quite strong, that we had a breakout. It is the beginning of the day. We haven't got London coming in. So far, sorry, we haven't got New York coming in. So far, London has made the high of the day. That's not really good. You know, if London's made the high of the day, what's going to happen? I think New York's going to come back down for a retest, you know what I'm saying? Right? Yeah, we always tend to get a retest. Like a retest, right? Look, a retest doesn't have to be bang on. Like, look for this, for example. Let me try and find an example for you guys. A couple of examples. So, like this, for example. Yeah, this one. I played this one. I definitely played this one. I know I did. So, you got a range band environment here. Right, so let's just say from... Let's say this high here to the 4 hours. I need to try and work this out there. Right, so we've got a range band environment. So I'd say this high here to this. No, I wouldn't say this low there. I'd probably say this low here. Yeah, that's it. That's perfectly fine. So we got a range bound environment from this high here, and it was this low there, right? That was a range bound environment. You can see price was capping in here. All this was just fast movement. This is all, see this movement over here? This like massive ass motherfucking wick. That to me is like a bit of an anomaly. Just you got someone who was so fucking scared, just shanked the fucking market right down quite quickly. Because we moved from fucking, the body close was what? This wick here. Let me just remove that for a second. So this wick here closed at, well, the lowest wick was at 27k, and then the following 4 hours, right, went back from 27k to 25k as a 2k wick, right? So then, to me, a bit of an anomaly. You can see price, it's consolidating this area here, okay? So look what happened here. We get back up, we think it's a breakout, looks for a retest. If it's going to be bullishness, we need to reclaim this high and then go up higher. Instead, we come back down as a deviation. Step back down, it's a deviation range. All right, no worries then, cool, fine. Then we go back up, look for, if it comes back up, gets back up, deviation, resistance. This is the key point over here. You see this? See how we broke out of it? If it's going to be a deviation, we need to step back in. Instead, the next candle here, right? Let me actually just try and make this larger. Sorry, guys. There we go. That's much better. Let me get these fucking lines back up. So that's the high right here that we capped. And that's the low that we capped over here, right? Look here. So price gets back below here. We're looking for a deviation. If it steps back in, that's a deviation. Let's go up higher into this area and then break above. Fill out this inefficiency here. See, there's all inefficiency here on the 4 hours. Not fucking filled out. Doesn't have to be filled out. And then what happened is, right, this low over here gets retested. So when we lose this low over here, to shank down, because we're taking out liquidity here, clean fucking candle come down, and what happened? We get a retest. So like we would like to have a retest off here, 100%. I would always like a retest off the range low, but it doesn't have to. If it's going to be mega bearish, we can get a retest off the SR, and that was the SR right here. You can literally see support, 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 shank down. We come back up as a retest. We closed underneath it. That was bearish enough. I took a trade at the time. I was in, I think I was in freaking Turkey at that time when that happened. I did it. I think I posted it. I did the stream at the time and whatnot in the morning, and explained everything else as well. And say, look, possibility we find a resistance breakdown, off we go, and it was a fucking beautiful trade. But we did a retest, right? If it was, we don't see price consolidating. You see price consolidates, breaks out, right? Retest off here. We don't see a breakout and a continue. We don't see consolidation and then just breaks out all the way like that. No, it has to come for a retest. Sometimes you catch it on the lower time frame. Sometimes you don't catch it on the lower time frame. Sometimes you see on the sometimes you see on the higher time frame. Sometimes you see on the lower time frame. You just gotta play around with the time frame itself and look at your SRs itself. But we'll work this out as we go. And once we found the retest off there, that was it. That was enough. Ideally, like I said, would have been great to have a breakdown here, and this would have given me the confirmation, right? But instead, it was so weak, it didn't even have enough power to come back into here. Okay? And that's it. Sells off. There was another one we did as well. There's so many of them we do, actually. Loads of them. I can't think of them off the top of my head. There was one around here somewhere. I think it was right here. Let's go. 15 minutes. I'll try and catch another one for you guys. Where was it? Where the fuck was it? I know it was somewhere here. Yeah, here you go. Yeah, that's it. There was another one that I was playing, right? Here was another one. On the 15 minutes, right? Some educational content. Smash the fucking likes, man. Come on, guys. Right? So, this one here is the range low, right? And this one here is the range high. You can see price comes back up. Price is capped between this low and this high. Liquidity is taken. Guys, remember what I said. Liquidity, data, right? Those in the DCC know what I'm talking about. I'm saying this out again so you guys can actually follow what I'm saying quite clearly. Liquidity was taken. We got so much data in this area here. We made the high and we made the low there. And price is capped between those two areas. Liquidity taken on the upside, liquidity taken on the downside. Come back up, finds resistance. You know, there's a mid-range somewhere around the lines. I don't give a fuck about that. We're just talking about the range-bound environment. Breakout over here. We take out these highs, happy days right then. If we're going to find bullishness, we need to find support. Reclaim the mid-range. This was the mid-range, right? So once we're below the mid-range, it's bearish, you know, it's fucking bearish, right? So you're watching. If we're going to be bullish, right, we need to actually reclaim this level here. This high here needs to be reclaimed. You can clearly see on the motherfucking 15 minutes. Some of you guys might be looking at the 5 and 10 minutes, but I'm telling you the 15 minutes we didn't have any reclaim. deviation, resistance, resistance, deviation, resistance, bang on fucking sell off, motherfuckers. And that's all it was. And you can see it clearly. It was a perfect play. Trading is easy. Just don't overcomplicate your system, man. Don't fucking make too many lines and don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's talk about this then. So we had the range band environment, a couple of deviations on there. When we sell off right here, you see this sell off, mad ass motherfucking sell off, find support over here, and we get below here. Once we get below here, look what happened here. We make a retest. Now, if you want to be bearish, right? If you want to actually go for longs and look for confirmations, all you're looking for is see this low here. Once we get back below this low, which we do here, find resistance on the smaller time frame, off we go, bang it on to the next level. And you can put a stop loss here as invalidation, off you go. If we were to reclaim, see how we hold above this needs to hold a resistance. If you reclaim the range low, we're going to take out the stops. And there it goes. There was a retest on the 15 minutes. I showed you one on the 4 hours, I showed you one on the 15 minutes. Hopefully that helps. Alright then, I need to drink some fucking water, man. Does that make sense? You know what? I'll make a roll up. I want to make a roll up. Give me a second, guys. Previous all-time high, proving sticky as well right now. 100%, bro. Nick, shout out to Nick, man. Fucking gangster and off. He's picking this out quite well as well. I need to get Nick on the show innit, and say, yo, listen, you know what? Can you do me a favor? Run Dank's daily trades. Would you be on that? I'll just sit back and just be I like to be a fucking an audience, you know. I forgot how that feels. I get that feeling when I watch SC when when he does his like Bitcoin for Legends and stuff like that. That's when I get the feeling like, yo, I'm learning. But it's a nice feeling to be an audience. But we know when we talk it every single day, Monday to Friday. It's one of those ones like you forget the feeling, you know, like talking to you guys becomes normal. You know, it just becomes very normal to actually understand what the market is doing, because I've got from my point of view, what it is, it's like I'm looking at a chart and I'm trying to relay this into an information that you guys can understand, so you guys can follow it quite clearly and breaking it down in simple terminology, right? There's no point me saying all these fancy words or FVG, BOV, BAT, or what, I don't know what kind of fucking letters they put up these days, right? But fucking hell, I swear to God, my eyes, man. You know what? Before I forget, I need to wear my glasses. I was getting migraines, mad, man. I think it is. I'm staring at the screen too much. I'm getting crazy ass motherfucking migraines. Vegeta's in. He's gone back home to see his family. You know. Yeah, he's gone back home. I think he's gone for a month or some shit like that. He flew off on the 23rd. He popped into the DCC not too long ago, a couple of days, just to check up on us as well. But he's fucking chilling there. Let me send him a message right now. 1 second, bro. You know what? That reminds me. Let me see how he's doing. I'll send him a message for all of us as well, okay? Yo, Vegeta, what's going on, brother? I'm on Dank's daily trade shit in it. I'm doing the YouTube right now, and the guys are asking how you're doing. Just telling them that you're on that you went back home to see your family. Sending everyone my love. Wishing you the best, and I hope to see you soon. And yeah, you take care of yourself, bro. Yeah, send him a little message. You know, you always gotta check up on our fellow brothers, innit? He's a solid guy, a lovely human being. Really got a clean heart, really nice person as well, man. You know, like don't confuse this. A lot of us are like from like not from India, innit? But he's got an Indian accent and whatnot. I don't confuse the brother as I think he's a freshie. He's not. He's actually, well, he may have have an accent, right, which is not a problem, innit? But he's a smart guy. He knows what he's talking about. Because when Bitcoin was dropping, I remember we were talking about Bitcoin playing into shorts and stuff like that, and he learned the hard way. He learned the hard way when he lost money in May and whatnot. And what happened was he sent me a message when the market was just dropping from like 20, 23, 24K, and he went back into USDT. And he goes to me, bro, feels good to be in USDT and not giving a shit about the market. And I'm like, yeah, 100%. 100%. It feels good. It feels good. And then, like, obviously what happens is, the vice versa happens is where we are right now. Let's get back into the fucking work now. What happens is right now, when you see price action like, fucking hell, what the fuck are we? This is some madness on the 15 minutes, isn't it? Yeah. When we see some price action like this, right, we get a bit excited and we want to go for longs in it. Like right now, we want to go for longs, which is completely understandable. Like everyone wants to actually be in some altcoins, but remember, don't rush into anything. Don't rush into anything. Wait for the increased probability. Let the trade come to your favor before you take a trade. If you start taking trades with the at range high, like you going for longs, well then what happens? You're risking the idea of actually finding this as resistance and breaking down back into the mid range. When you find and what you don't want to do also is that when you see price shoots up, right? Don't be a retail, right? Don't be one of those retail guys who doesn't know anything. Guys, we've done 80 fucking episodes. 80 fucking episodes where I've showed you how to make money left, right, and center, just using Bitcoin and Ethereum. Right? Later later on the day, I'm gonna do a special video for the guys in the DCC, where all the alt requests, I'm gonna do a video on that. I'm gonna do a special video looking for ways how to actually make longs, where you're gonna be looking for taking profits on a higher time frame, breaking it down, and hopefully they make some money on the way up as well. So like it's very easy when you see a move that shoots up like that to start saying, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna start buying my alts, right? And you're buying your alts over here, you're buying your alts here, or Bitcoin, or whatever you want to buy, but then price comes back for a fucking retest, and you're like, motherfucker, I should sold. Like, you know, that's what happens. That's what happens. It's like it's your emotion that's talking to you. It's not your brain, because your brain is telling you, motherfucker, just chill out, man. But you're not chilling out. You're riding the wave with this euphoria. Don't let that happen. Control yourself, man, before the market controls you. So now, looking at Bitcoin, right? Let's talk about Bitcoin. This is the important thing, right? We talk about ranges. We're looking for a retest. I mean, look, what's capping the market, right? You see this area here? Let me show you this. Where the fuck is it? There it is. You see this area of consolidation right here? That's been capping the market the whole time. And that's where it is. We talked about that yesterday. We come back into it, retest. And all it is, as long as what's it? Look, consolidation, breakdown, we come back up, retest. Comes into this to this high, sells off. We're coming to this high, we're selling off. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Just be patient. Just be fucking patient. No need to rush on anything, because what can happen, right? This could all just, let's just say, what is the worst case scenario? The worst case scenario is that this was all a deviation. We come back up for a retest and we step back in and we start breaking. I can't even fucking draw. Come back in, step back up and start finding resistance, breaks down, and then we're going to take out liquidity over here and then come back down to the mid range, and then we'll see what happens. This is an SR. That's the worst case scenario, right? And what do? You've already bought over here. Like, do you sell? Where do you sell? Do you sell over here? Do you sell down here? Do you sell at 18k? Do you sell at 15k? You don't fucking know. You're stressing. You're just freaking out for no fucking reason. All you gotta do is let the price come to you. We have our plans. We know what we're doing, and we just take it level to level. So I need to bring that box back up. Right now, if we come up to the 25% range, right? We haven't retested it, for quite some time, actually, for quite some days. I think it's been about a week or 2 weeks that we haven't retested it. Look, we got a gap over here, we got a gap here. No problem, that's not a problem. We've broken down below here. It's a short scenario. I mean, I would have taken a short there. I would have loved to take a short around here, but I just didn't get into it, so no problem. So I'm just gonna wait for whatever price does. Now we got these highs over here. Is price gonna come back and retest this high? It did, right? So we found some support over here. If this is going to be bullish, we've got inefficiency here, we've got inefficiency there, all right? If price is going to be bullish, right, we should come back down, or like if we come back down, if we reclaim this high over here, that shows us some sort of bullishness to come back into this box there. From this box, we need to see how we reclaim and hold above it, go back to 25% of July's range, and squeeze out to this block here, to these highs, and take out liquidity there. When we take out liquidity up there, that's bullish market structure on a higher time frame of a bigger time span. We're looking at the 15 minutes right now, and then if we hold above it, retest, then a breaking market, like market structure is still bullish. Off you go, long your longs, going back to mid range. So let's just say that's the shallow deep pullback, right? That's a shallow pullback, right? What happens, right, if we come back here and instead we bounce off this, we don't break this high over here, but we come back down? Well, then we got this inefficiency. You shouldn't be fucking surprised. We come back to retest the Monday's high, which is very probable to actually do it, in my opinion. And let's just see how we react. If we find resistance, come back down and let it do its thing. The moment we step back up, right, and these lows are hold, like this lower high is held, for example. Let's just say that, for example. You got an increased probability of going up higher. Once we reclaim this, that's your confirmation off you go, back into this target there, and we do the plan that we talked about, going to to June 25, range high, breakout, and off we go. That's what we're looking for. Now, let's just have a look. Fuck off. Where's my fucking hair? And let's just say, right, that well, you know, you don't want to long it here, and you want to play for increased probability, and you want to play for an increased probability playing up to the mid-range. No problem, we can do that. Okay, let's have a look on the 1 hour. What we said already, that we are capped between this 25% range and range low. If we get back up, take out these highs, right, come back to 25% and hold above it, bullish market structure continuation, let's go back up to 25%, which is 21.7k, and we can start filling out all this inefficiency right there, and let's see if we can squeeze into this target there. If we can squeeze into there, which is about here, about just 22k, 22.2k, we can squeeze up to there and then see what happens there, and that'll be next set of targets there. From there, I expect some reaction to happen, right? I don't expect us to start going up higher, right? I don't expect us to keep going just yet. Why? Because we're at the mid-range. Mid-range can always be choppy. We can come back for a pullback. It does its thing, whatever it wants to do. Once we reclaim the mid-range, holds above it, bullish market structure, it's still bullish, highs are getting taken up, we can play it to the next set of targets. That's when we start looking at. So just be really, really careful. And someone put Yuri fucking said it before I could say it, man. That guy is always on a fucking rampage, man. I love that guy. Always ahead of the game. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So monthly open. Let's mark out monthly open. Where's monthly open? Monthly open is on the 1st of October. Around here. So that's the monthly open candle there. And look here. You know what? Let me just draw this off here, because I'm going to need this eventually. That's up there. No. Sorry about that, guys. There you go. That's the monthly open. Throw this across. Ducks. Now, we don't need to fill out we don't need to come back to the monthly open. It's very possible it doesn't come back to the monthly open. So, you know, we said a pullback, right? And we're talking about this low to hold. What could happen is that price come back down, takes out the stop loss there, and bounce off the monthly open, holds above it. You know, that's your, so let's just say we do something like this, right? Do something like this, come back down, come into the mid-range, bounce off it and hold above it. And there's bullish market structure. You know, that's your long. You can put a hard stop over here, because that's the low of the month itself. And then you're playing for the expansive move on the for the month itself. And this, right, this is the monthly body, right? This is the monthly body. And then that's would have been the wick. And we're looking for the fucking crazy ass move. Remember, Friday is NFP, so be a bit cautious on that as well, okay? Which comes down to the bearish play, which is what I wanted to, you know, but the Yuri actually went ahead of me. Yuri went ahead of me. Guy's always on a freaking on a rampage, man. I love that. But yeah, so this comes down to this. If we come back, and that was a deviation of the range, and we're playing back from the range, Monday's high, and we start breaking down, right? We start breaking down, lose the slow there, bearish market structure. That'll be your next set of targets, right? And then target 2 will be your monthly open. And then you can see we can squeeze into the mid-range. That'll be the target there. If we get back above the monthly open, cut the trade because bullish market structure. This is where you start longing. Whatever the deviation was below the mid-range, you can play it from the mid-range, the deviation from the mid-range, playing back up to range high. From range high, or if you want to do a swing trade, this will be your low of the month. If we get below the mid-range and we start breaking down, we delete this so everyone doesn't get confused. If we start breaking down, then you know the next set of targets will be the 25% range, and we're taking out liquidity on Monday's high. That's what we're looking for on Monday's low. And then we'll play it from there. Because remember, once we get below the monthly open, it's bearish. Above the monthly open, it's bullish. But it is still early in the day. Still early in the fucking day. Early in the month. I mean, we got one. What day is today? It's the 4th today. So which means like we've done 4 days of trading around the around this area. So we don't know exactly, especially after NFP on Friday, we'll have a clearer direction on where we're playing at. Okay, that's what we're looking at. So that's the short-term play. You can play Monday's range. You can play the monthly open. You can play whatever you want, or you can play up for the retest. We have the plans for a retest and hold above this, and then we can play on the upside. Okay, that's what we're doing there. Does that make sense, everybody? If I move on, because I want to show another chart as well. One more chart on BTC, and then we go on to the next one. So the next chart I want to talk about, where would you place your stops for what? For what, T-Raw? If a daily closes above the key resistance, swing trades on the table. Yes, it is. Because then what happens is resistance becomes support. So if you get a higher time frame close above an SR, what that means that you've got, I think you got higher increased probability of actually going higher, and which comes down to the next point I want to talk about. Steam's always fucking ahead of me as well, man. Man, these guys are always on something. I love it. Yeah. So let's look at this range here, right? So you guys can recall this range. Let's go on the 4 hours. I've been banging on about this range for quite some time. If you enter a breakout above the 20.2k. So, okay, we'll get into that in a moment. Okay, actually, let's fucking touch base into that now. So, whatever that, like, let's just say on the 15 minutes, because it all comes down to what the price does, isn't it? Right. So let's just say if price, right, comes back up, finds resistance, there's a bit of a deviation there, like that, whatever it is, holds above it, and then once it reclaims this level here, and we're going to be playing up to range high. What you got here, you got market structure: low, lower, high, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low. Right. So what you could do, you can put your stop loss over here, for example. That's a wider stop loss, playing it for this. So you'd be looking for something like, I don't know, this is a rough idea, long position. Let's say you enter around here, stop loss over there. You're playing it back to range higher, and that's a 2.25 R trade over there. We'll talk about stop losses in the DCC as well a bit more, so that you guys can understand how to place your stop losses going forward, and increase your probability and reduce your risk as well. Okay, so that'll be something like that. But then again, it's really difficult to say where my stop loss would be, because we have to let price unfold. Because let's just say price comes back down, right? Does this, right? And it comes into the monthly open and reclaims this area here. I have many opportunities to actually play the long, because let's just say that's a breaking market structure, right? And then I can place my stop loss, a wide stop loss there, because that's below the deviation there, going up to this. See how we react. And once we do something like this, then I can play all the way back up, and I can move my stop loss and compound my position from there to here, for example. Because why? We've got bullish market structure. We have taken out these highs, find support, off we go. Hey Hugh, how's it going, brother? Does that make sense to you, Raw? I mean, that ideally I would have liked to do that on the DCC, but it's always fun to do it for everyone else. But yeah, that's what we're looking for. Okay? So it all comes down to how the price reacts, what the price thing is. Because I can't start saying, yeah, guys, you know what? We're going to break out. If that's the case, if we're going to break out, I'd hard stop over here. You know what I'm saying? Hard stop have to be here. Or if you want to play a bit more aggressive, right, I'd probably put my hard stop around here, to be honest. That's why I would say playing it up to there. But then, like I said to you guys before, right, this is why when you're looking at like ranges itself, I said this before, that our invalidation for longs, if anyone took longs from where we were, right, when we're talking about this, price was around here, somewhere around here. I said our invalidation is this low here. That's your clean invalidation. So you can have a swing trade from long position. Let's have a look. Let's just say let's say we entered here. Our swing trade was over here from this invalidation, and you're going back to range, mid-range, and that's been a 4-hour trade there, right? It's a swing trade. At the moment, we're at like 1.5-hour trade where we are standing. It's still holding, and that swing trade still holds in place. So if you, it depends how you want to do it. If you want to actually do a swing trade right now, I mean, let's long position. How's it looking like? That's the deviation below there. It's just about a 1-hour trade. So I mean, you can still do it. It's still a 1-hour trade in its own way, but the the time for me to start doing a swing trade is already lost once we come up to here. So we're close to the 25% range. I'll start seeing how we go, how we react on the upside, and then we can start looking for swing trades up there for the next level. Okay, so the other trade, the other range I wanted to touch base on, not this. Actually, let me just touch base on this. See, this level here is a key level here. We need to reclaim that 20k level. See SR, it's a clean range over here. This low has been acting as an SR. Once we get back up and hold above it, then we can split this up to 22.2k, go to 24k, and then we'll see what happens from there going forwards. Like I said, and then from 24.3k, then we can go up to 26 and then 28. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes, because then we got all this inefficiency there. But really, I want to start focusing on within this area here. This is the area we need to focus on, because that's where price is reacting here. The range bound environments here. So we'll see. This low is still holding. Oops, you can't see. This low right here is still holding intact. So far so good. Do you remember we talked about? I did a video on institutional buys. For those who haven't seen it, right, you guys, it might be beneficial for yourself as well to go back to institutional buys. It was one of the videos there, and we talked about institutional buys, and this is where institutional would be buying around 17.5k. They were looking around that level, which made sense on a higher time frame as well. So just go back to that video and you guys can check it out. It's all for your own benefit there. Yeah, one more thing on BTC, what we want to talk about, and then we go to Ethereum and see if we can squeeze in some alts there. Okay, so let me just mark out this range over here. It's a daily, gone 4 hours. Yeah, cool. All right then, so let's just mark out some levels. So we got range high, range low, mid range, and then we got the 75% range, and we got the 25% range. Okay, now if I just hide all this, and let's just make some sense out of this. All right, so this was a range bound environment that we were playing, right? We were bouncing back in June, July. We're playing this, right? And we were making a lot of money out of this, up and down, up and down, up and down. Come back down, find resistance, sells after range low, deviation. You can see a bunch of deviation. It is choppy underneath and below it, and above it is all choppy. It's all deviations there. There's a deviation there. Is this a motherfucking deviation? You can see how price has been grinding up on the upside. You see how price is actually grinding. This trend line has been is holding intact, really clean, really well, and it's just how wicks below it. So we found support, 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 support. We've shot up now, and then this is an SR right there, right? So that's the trend line there, and this is the SR right over here, right? Can you see that? We've finally broken above it right there. We had a nice clean on the 4 hours there. It's all looking good, and he retests up here, which comes down to range low, right? And he retests to come there. Any deviation, whatever he wants to do, hold above this, right? Then we can start playing to 25% of the range from the 25%, which is 20.2k, right? From which, yeah, you can't make this up, 20.2k anyway. And then we go to the mid range of the weekly range, which is at 20.8k. From 20.8k, then we can see we can go to 21.35k, whatever, and then squeeze into this area here, which is about the mid range of this July range itself. Which is, yeah, this is around the July's range, 21.9k itself. And then from there, we'll see what happens. Do we actually, I'm saying, be entry, and this could be an entry right here, for example. That'll be an entry there. And let me draw that properly. Let me draw the arrows properly. I don't like that. That's just lazy work there, right? And you're playing it from level to level as you go on there. And then from once we get to range high, we'll see what happens. Remember, we're gonna find resistance off this area here, this block. We're gonna find resistance. So do we come back up, find resistance, break down, get back below it, and then short the market back down to range low? We don't know. We'll see how it goes when we react there. So at the moment, for the time being, we can start focusing on this range in particular. Okay. So that's one way to actually shorten the range down, to have it a bit more tighter, and you also have July's range to keep it going on a more wider time frame there. What's going on, MFWIC? How you doing, brother? Yeah, we're looking good, man. We're looking good. All right, then, cool. So that's that. So that's the plan for Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum itself, where's my levels? Let's see, I've got this one and I've got this one. All right then, cool. So let's play with this one first. This one first, what we got here, we've come into range high. So this is the July's range, okay? Now July's range, just quickly touch base on this, right? As you can see, this is a range bound environment. Let me just highlight that. And that's where prices actually come off this. That's a range bound environment over here. And that's where price actually came. Oh, fucking hell, my eyes all itchy and shit. So this is, yeah, I'm going to get a migraine in a bit. Fuck. So price actually consolidated here. Then we had the breakout. And all we did, we come back for a retest. Right? So we're coming for a retest. And you see how this range high has been holding. If this was going to be bearish, we'd have stepped back into the range high, this range bound environment, break down, and play it back to mid-range, from the mid-range back to range low. That's what we're looking for. But instead, we're holding above it. Instead, we're consolidating above that range. Yes, we are below the mid-range of July's range. So we're going to find resistance. Resistance there, resistance there. It's not a problem. So as long as we hold above there, your invalidations over here, we can actually go back up, right? If we get back up, that's your confirmation to go up higher to 25% of the range, to 75% of the range, which is about $1,600, $1,595. From $1,595, we can see we can squeeze into this area. I'll take some profits up there, which is about $1,720, and then squeeze to $1,792. Take out these highs over there. Let's see what happens there. This is going to be an area of consolidation. As you can see, you see this high here? Look at that. I can see us squeezing back into this high there. Very possible there. That was the high as resistance, came back up, support, we lost this level, resistance, and then we haven't retested this area there. So there's going to be a block right over here where we will find some reaction there. We might come back down here, we don't know. But once we step back up, off we go. Let's go higher prices, okay? So that's Ethereum on the higher time frame. I don't know what's going on in my eye, man. It's just really itchy. Fuck's sake. I want to pull out my fucking eye. Give me a second, I need to go wash my eye. Fuck. Yeah, I can. No, 1 second. 2 minutes. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Should be alright now. Don't know what the fuck happened there with my eyes and shit. Anyway, so that's what we're looking at. What we're talking about. We're talking about Ethereum. We're taking a breakout. Oh yeah, okay, cool. So we've done the play itself. Now, and we talk about like what we'd be looking for if we were to be bearish. What we're looking for bearishness. Break down back here. 25% range. Take out this low here. Bearish market structure, and then back to range low. Take out these double bottoms over there. But looking good, looking strong. It's all perfectly fine. No issues there. Now let's just have a look at this, right? Number one, right, before we start looking at Monday's range, we are still in that range that we have 3 weeks ago. You see this blue thin range over there? Right, let me just go down to the 2 hours. A bit more data after this shit in it. So can you see this, right? This low here and this high, this was 3 weeks ago's Monday's range, and we're still capped in there. We're still capped in. The high come back down to low. Low back to high. High back to low. I mean, mid-range is all choppy. We come back down to low. This low holds. This low is holding there, so you can see a clear, like you got a swing failure over here. So you see this low here, for example, this low there. We come down, swing fails it, takes out this low again, swing fails it, sets back into the range, right? Takes out, breaks out this high, bullish market structure there. All right. This low, as long as this low holds, right, we can go back to range high. Okay. So what happens in? So when we actually take out this low there, make a new low there, swing failure, come back all the way up there, comes back, find support, off we go, mid-range, and we reclaim that mid-range. Now we're above the mid-range. We had a clean smash on the 2 hours on the mid-range there. We're getting capped at the market there. Where the fuck are we getting capped? You see this high here? That's capping the market there quite cleanly, very cleanly. Don't rush and get in longs yet. You just can't be rushing in for any fucking longs. We've got resistance here. Again, resistance. If we pop above and hold above it, then you know resistance has become support. And then you can start targeting this area here. It's a consolidation there. I expect some sort of reaction to happen around here. This area there. Expect some sort of reaction there. And it comes back into range high. Also the mid-range of the July's range itself. And then from there, we'll see what happens. Do we actually come back down and still within this range-bound environment that we've got over here, that we highlighted, or and play back down for a retest and then see how we hold? But once we break above it and hold above it, we're taking out these highs there, bullish market structure, off you fucking go. Let's take out these liquidity there, and let's fill out all that inefficiency on the upside. How are we going to look for it? Let's have a look. So then we start playing like this then. So break above, right? Break above, hold it, right? Bullish market structure, off we go. And then I'd say my first area of reaction I'll take, probably, I'll go here just to be on the safe just to safely be on the safe side. I look at taking some profits at 15.50. That'll be a target probably 50.50, and see if we can squeeze into here 75% range. Once we get back up, let it do its thing, we get back up and hold above it, then we can start taking the next set of profits there. I'll be looking at probably here at 1680. We can go back up to range high, and range high, we'll see what the fuck we do. Take out liquidity there. We don't know what happens next. We're going to work this level to level and see what happens there. Does that make sense, everybody? One second there. Come on, smash up the likes, man. Okay, so that's the play that we're looking for, and that's the plan that we've got on hand there. How do we play this out as a short-term play, all right? As a small time frame. Let's just start narrowing this down. So let's look for the for Monday's low, which is here. That's Monday's low. Monday's high was, that's not it. Monday's high was around here, right? Which just so happens to be, which is why I'm looking for a retest. See, this is Monday's high. We took out the liquidity Monday's high. Now what we want to see is a potential move. Let's go on the 15 minutes. And we can start seeing what's going on. What I'd like to see right now is playing it within the 19th of September's range. Is see how we are, right? Come back down, right? Fill out this inefficiency right over here, right? Come back, let it do its thing. We've got a trend line going on over here. Let's have a look at this trend line. This trend line sitting nice and perfect there. Let it do its thing, right? Let's just say price come back down, retest this area. Once it reclaims, we've taken out these highs there, bullish market structure, reclaims the trend line, Then we can start taking the next target. We reclaim the mid-range of the 19th of September. We're above the Monday's high. Long you fucking longs. Off we go. Let's take out level to level on a lower time frame into these areas here. First, I would say will be 1364, and then we're looking at 1392, and then we're looking at 1400. And then from there, we'll see what happens. Tomorrow's a new fucking day. We made our profits. Off we go. And that's what we're looking for. That would be a perfect play, squeezing it into this. And then from there, we'll see what happens. This is the mid-range. This is the mid-range, right? Now, what happens is, if we end up losing, so that's the bullish play. What happens if we actually, you have to always bear in mind some bearish plays, no issues. You have to accept there's a possibility that this could be a failed rally, a failed bull rally. So what happens is, if we come back down, let it do its thing, steps back between this, I mean, you could do this, for example. Come back in, right? Play back down, right? Bearish market structure, we step back into the range. Ask yourself, the fuck you doing back in the range? We play it back down to 25% of range. From the 25% of range, you're looking to go play all the way to the mid-range or Monday's range. This is an SR right here. I expect some sort of reaction to happen right off this high itself. And then from there, we'll see what happens. Do we actually hold above it and then do the reclaim that we wanted? Happy days. Or do we actually play it back down to the 25% range, take out these liquidity there, and then take out Monday's liquidity? We don't know. We don't know. We just have to play level to level. Right, so these are the plan for the bearish play, and I already showed you the plan for the bullish play, which is right wherever the fuck it is. That's not it, but yeah, just rewind back there. Okay, that's Ethereum, simple as that. Nothing too complicated. Just keep it nice and simple. ETH BTC is still, I mean, it looks like it's broken out this trend line diagonal there. I think that's not hourly. No, it's not. Yeah, you can see it's holding. I mean, how would I get bullish on ETH BTC? Reclaim this, the mid-range, 0.069, and then hold above it, and then we can go all the way into this area there. Then from there, we'll see what happens. We discussed that yesterday. It's all in yesterday's stream. You can check that out. So now we've done ETH, we've done BTC, we've done dollar, we've done ES, we've done a bunch of stuff. Any alts? Let's look at some alts now. Squeeze in a few alts, and then we call it a day, okay? There. Right, cool. Bless. Any alts? Okay, got FDM, Matic, Link, and XRP. Alright, let's do that. Pick a couple. What time is it? 11:42. Alright. Guys in the DCC, send your request in it. I'm gonna have lunch soon in it, and after lunch I'll do the video for all the alts. Actively trade alts at the moment. I wasn't so much because I was focusing on BTC and Ethereum. But yeah, I will be actively trading alts a lot more now. Definitely a lot more. I do want to touch base on ZCX actually. ZCX was a good one. If you guys recall yesterday, that with ZCX, I was saying that we got, let's look at high time frame, monthly, what we're looking at. We wanted, right? This was capping the market. I was saying this here was capping the market there, and we were capped in between these two areas there. Let me show it to you on the daily. Right? That was an SR. See this an SR, this high comes up there. I mean, well, not really as an SR. This is an SR right here. I think this would have been the perfect SR right there. Right? But we were capped in here, in this area here. Price got up, came back down. I bought around 14 point, I think around here. I think I bought alts. I bought it yesterday. When I was talking about it, I bought it around here. Swing trade with a stop loss here. It was a spot buy anyway. We broke up as well. Nearly 2x anyway. It's coming back down. It's not a problem. So that was a range bound environment of was it last week's? Yeah, that's last week's range, right? So now we're above last week's range. We've taken out this thingy, we've taken out this liquidity here. We'll come back up, right? Where did we find resistance? Let's go on the daily. We found resistance off this high here. That's where it is. I'd say this low actually. This low is actually the SR right there. Is it? Yeah, perfect, perfect. That would be the perfect low there. And so what happened is, you can see that. So this low here was support, come back down, resistance, do a deviation, then we found resistance, and of course this is going to be a resistance. So it has to be naturally an area to take profits there. So now, just like everything else, whenever we get a pop, we're looking for a retest, consolidation, right? This is all here was all consolidation, breakout, looking for a retest. If it comes down to the 15.48 level and hold above it, you can retest this low at 14 cents. I wouldn't mind loading more on 14 cents to be honest. If price comes down here, right, see this low here? That was the monthly low. Price comes back down here and holds at the 14 cents. I'd definitely be looking to long this right there. And then your confirmation is breakout, and then we can do this. And that was just a consolidation, breakout, retest, expansion. And then we go to the next set of targets, which we discuss at 34 cents, I believe, which would be around here. Well, is it 34 cents? Whatever the cents is, wherever that low is, right? And that's where the target will be there. And then from there, we'll see if we actually reclaim and hold above it, go to the next area, which would be here. This will be the next area of consolidation. Can you see that? That'll be the target. And then from there, just extend that out there. From there, we'll see if we can actually reclaim and go to the next level. And this area here on the quarterly is the 25% range. And that'll be a fucking mad swing trade there, to be honest. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So what we had Matic. So Nick asked for FTM USDT. Let's have a look. Okay, so FTM is interesting now. All right, I'm going to touch base on this one on the what are you saying, Hasib? Walaikum salam. So FTM, right, this is a range bound environment. You can see on the weekly, right, this was capped the market. This low here capped the market. Support, 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 deviation. We're back above it. Happy days, all good. This high, resistance, and all that's resistance. So we're still capped in that market there, no problem there. How do we play this? Let's have a look, right? As a swing motherfucking trade, right? If I look on the weekly, let's look at the daily. Right, the daily makes a bit more sense there. Right, where am I wrong? I'm completely wrong here. If I'm gonna have a spot swing trade, my stop loss will have to be here. I'm completely wrong there, because if price comes back down, this is just a range bound environment right here. My eyes, man. Fuck, man. What's going on, man? Yeah, I was saying, sorry about that. I'm just getting a bit pissed off now. Yes, you see this low over here? That's just that's the range band environment right there, right? And all we got a range band environment, as you can see, this low and this high there, support, resistance, deviation, resistance, come back and support. Okay, so we're good there. So you can keep, if you want to keep I think a bit more of a tighter play, like once we break out, right? So look, the target for me will have to be range high, right? Once we get to range high of this, which is about, let's see, 23 cents, let's call it 23 cents. That'll be the target there. We're gonna find some resistance, let it do its thing. Once we came up and break up, we take out these highs over there, reclaim. I'm looking for a reclaim of this level actually. This would be a nice reclaim there. Reclaim this high there, which comes around 24 cents, 23.5 cents. Reclaim this level there, bullish market structure. Then we can go for the next set of targets. Will be here. We'll find some reaction there, but I'll be squeezing to the 25% range at 26 cents. At 26 cents, right? Remember, then we start seeing right then. So this was just a low, and once we get into this area here and we do a breakout there, your stop loss. I'll move my stop loss from there to there, right? I can add more position to this into this spot bag. Then from the 25%, once we reclaim the 25%, right? Breaking market structure. This is a range bound environment. We're gonna get some choppiness over there, right? Let me just fucking highlight this. That's a range bound environment right there to there. No, I'll say this high. Yeah, there we go. That makes it clean. Yeah, this is a range bound environment. Let it do its thing. Once we break out of this, it can actually range bound. We'll break out of this. There we go. Next target there. I'll definitely start looking at taking some profits right over here. This low there, around 30 cents. 30 cents, and then squeeze into 30.5 cents. Then from there, we'll see what happens there. We work it level to level, and if we get back above it, happy days. Squeeze it to 25, and then range high. So up to 39 cents. So we'll see what happens. That's FTM. Phantom looks really, really good though. It's consolidating in this area here, so be very, very aware. Okay. What's the next one? Matic. Let's have a look at Matic. Matic has done really, really well. We talked about this, right? So Matic, right, on the higher time frame basis, right, this is where it gets a little bit more interesting now. Fuck. Give me a second, guys. Get a tissue. Fucking hell. Put this in my pocket. Cool. Right. So Matic, what we're looking at. This is what we're looking at in the range itself, right? You see this range motherfucking bound play. That's not the quarterly. Is it monthly? Yeah. No. What the fuck did I get that range from? Weekly? I can't remember why I drew that range. But anyway, never mind. So let's use this range. So yeah, that's it. The weekly just makes sense on there. So look at this. Let me just drag this across, so we get more of this shit coming out. Right. As you can see, right, this low here and this high here caps the market support. Right. We come back down to deviation. Step back up and we start hoarding. Can you see it? We're hoarding there. If I just remove some of this shit here, you guys should be able to see this quite clearly. Can you see? Comes deviation. Now we're holding a support. So as long as this holds a support, right, it's all good. Matic's going to be a bit of a slow mover, right? But look at this. We are at resistance of this trend line. If we break out on the daily, come back for a retest, hold above these highs there, off you go, long your longs to the next set of targets, 25% range, and then we can come into the, well, I'll probably think this area here first, off this area here. Let me just remove this off there. Right, squeeze into here, and then we can see we can squeeze into the mid-range. So we're looking at targets at $1.16. We're looking at next up, I think 145, and then mid-range at 159. That's it for Matic. If we lose this range, because this is a range bound environment, if we lose this low, right, then we come back into here, we see how we react. Step back into the range low, happy days, long your longs. I can bring my stop loss from here to there, and we'll see what happens next. Okay, there's a swing trade there. It's a really, really beautiful one actually. It is quite clean though. And then from the mid-range, see if we actually reclaim and go up higher to 25% of the range for $2, and then I'll be looking for $2.40, and that's it. It's just a range band play, nothing else. Don't complicate this. Don't start looking for all-time high. Don't, you know, trick yourself, and don't let CT and crypto Twitter and crypto YouTube telling you that, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it. No, guys, take it one step at a time. Just do it slowly, one level at another fucking time. If we start breaking down, like let's say we get to mid-range and we, you know, there's a it looks all bullish. This is a range bound environment, but then we end up losing this range bound environment. Shows bearishness. Off you go. You know, to cut your trade over here, your longs, cut your spots. You know, we're gonna go back down. Okay, and then look for the reload when we need to reload. We'll see how the market's going in terms of dollar index, ES, and the fucking global economy. Hopefully, we're not in World War 17, but we'll be good. Right, next one. Let's see what else we got from. So we got Matic. What else we got? Link. Link is a good one. I'm gonna actually talk about Link in the chat a bit more in depth as well. Now Link has been a bit of a funky one though, right? Link, I'm gonna have to do a fucking, what do you call it, a top-down analysis on this. I won't do that today now. I won't do this now. Right, so Link, right, we are capped at this high here. Do you know what? This is actually bugging me. So I'm gonna actually, give me a second. So that's the range over here. So that's the range. The range bound environment is right here. That's the true range, the bigger range that we're playing at. Because why? Can you see this low here? We lost this low. Oops. Lost this low here. We've got to work out, is this a deviation, right? If it's a deviation, we'll step back into the range and go up higher. Or is this a retest? If it's a retest, we'll retest off this, break down and go a lot more lower. We don't know. So Link is an interesting one. We'll see how that goes. Let me try and work this out slowly. And at the same time, we've got this range over here. Just looking at, okay. Let's have a look at the monthly. So anyway, with Link as it is, we are focusing in this range here. I need to clear this all up. All this has to be cleared up. But, we don't need this no more. We'll talk about that when the time comes, right? 2021's low. Let's have a look. August, July, June. That's the low, and that's the high. All-time high. This was in back in May. Mid-range is $27. Okay, cool. Link is definitely one I'm gonna actually be holding as well. Just to give you a heads up. Like, you know, once like we get to the bottom of the bear market accumulation and see what happens, we're looking for that 2020 mid-range. I forgot why I did that. Anyway, fuck it. Oh yeah, because we're in 2020. That's it. I did that yesterday, didn't I? I did Link yesterday. Yeah, that's it. Oh, that's the range bound motherfucking opinion there. That's where we're playing at. That makes sense. Come on. 1 month. Yeah, that makes sense. So $10.50. Anyway, so Link, we discussed this yesterday. It's got on the daily. We're in this range bound environment over here. We're capped in June's range. Is it June's range? No, July's range. We're still the same thing as Bitcoin. We're coming to the range high itself. If we you see this range bound environment over here, right? That's the high and that's the low. We're coming to the mid range. Once we reclaim this 25% range, really, right? Hold above it, then we can start saying, yep, targeting the range high, which is $8.10. From $8.10, we'll see what happens there, right? If we get above $8.10, all right, so bullishness, takes that this high, I'd say. This high there, does something like that, right? Then we can go to the next set of targets off this base up here, which is about just under $9. Let's say it's about $8.75. Reclaim that level. Then I say my final targets, I'll be taking profits over here at 2020's range high, mid-range, which is $10.85. And then from there, we'll see what happens. Do we reclaim that or not? But Link is still looking good. As you can see, we've got this low here, that high there. Support, you know, holding support over here, support there, support there, support there. It is grinding up nicely as well, which is all good. Do we have some sort of resistance? Yes, we do. We're from this high there. You can see that's a resistance. If you want absolute confirmation, right? Let me just do that properly. If you want absolute confirmation to play that $10 move, right? Here you go. Happy birthday, guys. All right. What you're looking for is this low here. That's that there, and this high here. Once we get back up, hold above it, close on the daily, bullish market structure. You know you're gonna find some reaction off this low here, just under the $9, $8.78, and then we can go into this target here, around here, which comes into, yeah, just before the, well, we know the 2020 mid range is over here, right there, okay. And then we can target this area here and then squeeze into 2020 mid range and see what happens next. And then that's Link done. Yeah. Right. XRP, and I'm gonna call it a day. Right, it's nearly 12 o'clock. Fuck, it's nearly 12 o'clock. Shit. XRP, what's happening? All right, we're finding support off this range. Right, can you see this range bound environment there? So range bound deviations over there. Step back up, go back up. Bullish market structure. We're taking out these highs there. And we're finding, so yeah, we have a deeper pullback coming to the mid range, holds it up there. We're finding resistance. I bet you on a smaller time frame, around hourly, where we find resistance. I'll tell you, right over this area here. This low here to this high here, and that's where we found resistance there. So look, you can see resistance, all this resistance. We haven't been able to take out that high there. And if we come back up, right, if you were to long it, for example, you got, let me just remove some of this shit. If you were to long it, you got this trend line coming up over there. There, you can see it. So that trend line over here, let me move my head. Can you see there? So that's the support area here. So you've got support. You call it support, do a deviation, find support, it's all good there. So we're still finding support there. We're above that range high there. We're coming at this area here. This area here is all resistance. Why? Because, well, let me just draw this out there. that is support, and this high is the resistance there. It's a range bound environment there, okay? So once we step back up, you have a day trade playing it back up to the range high from 49 cents. From 49 cents, playing it back to around 50.5 cents into this block. Once we reclaim and hold above it, off we go. Next level will be the range high, mid-range. But then we've broken out of this range here because we're capped in this range here for quite some time now, right? No, that is the mid-range. That is the mid-range. So we're having choppiness in the mid-range. Once we reclaim the mid-range, right? Then look, we've got this. You can see this. It's all just resistance here. Resistance, 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 right? If you want to get confirmation for longs, right? Let it do its thing. Any retest, pull back up. We're going to reclaim off this area here, and then you can know that's your confirmation. Further confirmation. You can enter there. You can enter here, playing it back to the mid-range. From the mid-range, we break above it. Let's go to the 66, 67 cents area, and then from there we go to range high. We'll see what it goes level to level, but we've got some movement to play out. So we're good to go on XRP. On the 4 hours, let's have a look. See this low here? That's where it's found resistance, right there. So that's, once we reclaim that area, right? That will give you further confirmation to add on to your spot buys if you want to. And off we go to next area, 65 cents, and then go to 80 cents. We'll see what happens. Probably into this area around 75 cents. You've got to take some profits at 75 cents, and it's just a range bound environment. And once we get to there, all it is, when you look at it in a wider time frame, all you can see, literally, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense that all this was just a range. It was just a range from this high there to this low there. Range bound environment, deviation, and we've come into this area. You see how price was consolidating in this area here. Look where price has done. Found support, found support, found support. Now we're shooting back up. Bullish market structure there. So I would have, to be honest, I wanted us a retest over here and then hold above it. I would have actually entered in, entered my longs in there, but we'll see how it goes. I can play however it goes to whichever there is. Their plans are all there for you guys, right? So XRP, we've done Matic, we've done FTM. Should I squeeze in AVAX? Inshallah, you pass the seed, man. Good luck with that, my brother. Think I recommend iStill spray. I'll check that out. There's a job. iStill spray. Let's have a look. iStill spray. Thank you so much for that, man. Is it this Medicom? These ones, is it? Oh, he's talking about pharma iStill spray. Because we're from the UK, so we won't get that. So, are you a healthcare professional? No, I don't. Not anymore. Yeah, I am. Oh, sodium hyaluronate. Okay, that's basically the same as that red one. Sodium hyaluronate. That's it. Hycosan. Yeah, so Hycosan. That's the UK version of it. Hycosan. Alright then, I'll get Hycosan. I'll pop to the pharmacy after this actually. Guys in the DCC, I'm gonna pop to the pharmacy. I'll message this in the group anyway. To the pharmacy, and I'm gonna go to the thingy, have some lunch as well in a bit. Let's fit in AVAX quickly, right? I bought it fine asking for UTK. I wish I could actually do that. I'm just running a little bit out of time here. Do AVAX quickly, and then we'll call it a day, right? So AVAX, right? It's hanging around this mid-range here. See how price is actually looking like it's dying out, right? Got a range bound environment right over here. This is a range bound environment, and what we got a deviation there. Step back up and carried on, and we're here, holding here, we're holding the mid range. Holding the mid range, which is all good. How do we play this level to level? I need to refine this later on, you know, for the group, for the guys in the group. How do we refine this, right? So we got a range bound environment, right? Looking at this on the 4 hours, what do we get? All right, then we got some more data here. Fine. So we got a swing failure pattern right here, which is already looking bullish as it is. You see that? See this low here? Swing failure, come back up, nearly a retest, not so much. But anyway, comes back up to the mid-range, and we're holding at the mid-range. If we want to see bullishness, we'll find out what it is. That's the low. What's the high? I'd say this would be the high, actually. That's the high there, right? You can see clearly that's the high there, and price is capped within this range over here, okay? So the mid-range should probably come in around just about there, right? So we're above the mid-range approximately. You guys can do a Fibonacci yourself about that. So as long as we hold the mid-range, bullish market structure, off we go, play back to highs, which is $18. Once we break out of this, right, we've got to ask ourselves, is this a breakout or deviation? We don't know. If it's a deviation, we play it back down to mid-range, from the mid-range to the $17 marker, which is a range-bound environment, which I showed earlier on. But if we were to be bullish, how do we play this then? So breakout, hold above it, shows bullish market structure, a reclaim of this high here. I'd like to see us. So the thing is, we're finding resistance up here. Yeah, that's it. Find highs there. Then we can play it back up to $19.25, $19.25. Squeeze it all the way to, I'd say, about here, which is about $20.25, I think. $20.75. That'll be the next area of targets. From there, right? From there, that's the next set of targets. Then we go to $20.50, and that's the range bound environment. And that's playing from the mid back up to the high. And after that, do we break out and go higher, or do we decide to come back down and play lower? We don't know. We'll see from there. But it's still looking good, actually. It's looking strong. Because the reason why you got to say it's strong, you see how this low is held. Look here. See this area of consolidation right over here? That's holding, right? So if you want to do a swing trade right now, you can enter in with a swing trade with a stop loss below here, targeting the highs over there. And that's not a bad play, actually, if you look at it. If I were to do, let's see how many R's that is. Just right here. I'd say, yeah, up to there, actually, yeah. Makes sense. 2.7 R. You can't complain with that. That's a really nice swing trade there. With 5% risk is actually quite nice. So we'll see how it is. As long as we're holding the mid-range. Look, once if we lose this area here, so I break it down from resistance, you have to cut the trade. Resistance, confirmation, play it back down to 25% range, and then go down to range low round, which is 12.25. So as long as it's holding, we're good to go. As long as this is holding, we're good to go. And we can shoot up back to 25 and then range high. Okay? That's it, guys, for me. I'm going to call it a day, and I'm going to catch you guys soon. If you guys have any questions or anything like that, feel free to message me. If you guys are interested in joining the Daink Country Club, the guys will tell you how it is as well. You can always go to the homepage. Oops, what the fuck? What's going on? To Daink Country Club's. It's called Daink C Club. You can search that up there. One way to do it, you can just pay by card for traderdaink.com, or you can do it for the Discord if you want to pay by crypto off this link as well. Follow the instructions as well, and you'll get a link to go to the Discord server. And there's a lot of education services there. We're talking about ranges. We're talking about KZs. We're talking about what else we talked about. We're talking about liquidity voids, inefficiency. We're talking about a lot of things. It's a lot of learning as well. So it's all in preparation for your own good in terms of for the bull market going in the future. But it's entirely up to you guys. Any questions, you can either message me through this for this Twitter profile, or you can actually message me through Daink's in my standard profile at Trader Daink. And yeah, that's it, guys. I'm gonna call it a day, and I'll see you guys really soon. Okay, take care, guys.